Hey everybody, Austin here again with another Let's Play video. Today, as you can see, it's going to be Risky Woods for the Sega Genesis. This is actually a conversion of a computer game that was released back in the early 90s. It came out on a variety of platforms from what I can tell, including MS-DOS, the Amiga, and the Atari ST. I'm not sure if it was released on any other systems or platforms. But this is the version I'm actually familiar with myself. I played this one back in the day quite a bit. Or at least back in the late 90s when I discovered it for the first time. That's kind of back in the day now, getting close to 20 years now. And it's a really fun game. It takes a lot of hints from your Ghosts and Goblins and Ghouls and Ghosts games. But this has quite a few different twists to it. Some good, some bad, depending on your tastes and whatnot. Overall, though, I think it's a really fun game, and I definitely recommend checking it out if you're a fan of the Ghosts and Goblins style games. It's not nearly as brutally difficult as those games, and with a little bit of practice, you should be able to beat it without a problem. And I'm hoping to be able to beat this without much of a problem in this Let's Play, but I guess we'll find out. So let's go ahead and just hit start and jump right into it. So much like Ghosts and Goblins and Ghouls and Ghosts, you get a little map screen which tracks your progress throughout the course of the game. And yeah, so it's got a lot of homages to that game, including the movement. You can move left and right, and you can jump. One thing that's interesting about this game is if you tap jump, you can do a small sort of like baby jump. Which I'm not entirely sure if that's really useful at a lot of parts of the game, but it is something to keep in mind when you jump. Unlike Ghosts and Goblins, where when you jump, you always jump at the same height. You get these treasure chests, which you just saw me open or destroy, and they drop a bunch of power-ups and so forth. However, one of the things about Risky Woods, and this is the thing that's probably going to throw a lot of people off, is a lot of those items you can get aren't actually power-ups. They're actually bad for you. I had another one right here, but fortunately it disappeared. So these things right here, you have to actually pick up. And every time you pick them up, if you look by your health down at the bottom of the screen, you'll notice, you know, that sort of circular wheel thing will actually... Oops, that was probably bad. I think I actually needed that platform. Let's see. Oh, that was close. That was a really close jump, actually. I've never done that before. I've never actually... See, normally what I do is I jump on it and then jump past and you won't get hurt. But that's actually interesting. I actually made that jump. I was surprised. So, yeah, so that wheel thing at the bottom actually plays a big role in progressing through these levels. And I didn't want to miss some of those power-ups. I want to kill this guy without taking damage. Now, let's see if I can... yeah, it's not happening. I just lost a life. In the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, you'll notice it says life and then a number. That's how many lives you have. And then it's actually got a bar underneath it. That's actually your health bar. And what I find interesting in this game is that you don't really... I think you can get 1-ups in this game, but you can also get things that refill your health. And if your health meter... Sorry, let me do this first. Okay. If your health meter goes above what you currently have, your number of lives will actually increase. So that's actually kind of interesting. You've got these monks here you have to free as well. Again, if you look in the bottom portion of the screen, it's got a couple monks there that are one grayed out, and that's basically denoting a monk I still have to find. So later on in the game, you'll have to get 3 monks, and you'll have to get these sort of like golden wheels to get past these... They're not really checkpoints per se, but these barriers. And what's interesting about these barriers, and I'll sort of explain it when I get to the next one. One of the things about Risky Woods, and makes it kind of hard to Let's Play, is that there's always so much happening, so it's hard to just stop and explain, because you're also being timed without pausing, and pausing like this is boring, because then there's no music, and I like the music in this game. So on these roadblocks here, when you have your golden wheel, you have to press the C button and hold it. And if you keep tapping C, it'll keep doing this pattern, and you basically need to replicate this pattern with your directional pad. So up, left, left, so up, left, left, just like that. And every time you do that, it'll drop weapons and so forth that you can pick up. You can actually power up your weapons in this game, and they become more powerful the more you pick up the same weapon. So, on that first barrier, I picked up another knife, throwing knife. And so my knife is actually more powerful now than it was when I first started. And so in the beginning of the game, that's probably exactly what I'll do, is I'll just, you know, continue just picking up knives if I can, since the weapon's actually quite powerful right now. There's also another gameplay mechanic where enemies will drop these sort of coins, if you will. I don't know if they're coins or medallions or whatever. But when you pick up a certain amount, I think it's somewhere in the mid-30s, you'll actually get armor. Your character will start wearing some armor, and basically what that does is it allows you to take some damage. It basically reduces the amount of damage you take, sorry. And then, sometimes that happens, it's weird. So, yeah, we're actually getting close to getting our first armor upgrade. However, there's also a second armor upgrade you get, and it's gold armor. And I actually read that the gold armor makes you invincible. And it basically just, every time you take a hit, your coins or medallions or whatever... Oops, that was bad. I got the skull. I don't know why I keep picking up the skull. I keep thinking it does something. But it does do something, just not something good. It actually takes away your health. So, instead of dying when your health depletes, at least in certain cases, you'll just lose a life on the bar. On the... So yeah, as you can see, we've got our first, we've got our silver armor. I'll call it silver armor. I don't know if that's actually what it's called, but again, if we constantly pick up these coins, and I always skip the apples in this game. That's an apple power up there, because half of them seem to put you to sleep. And basically, what being put to sleep does, it just uses up a ton of time, and if you run out of time. You actually get shot back to the very beginning of the stage, and I think you lose a life as well. So I'm not trying to have that happen. I'm not sure if you get continues in this game. I think the last time I played this game, I didn't have to continue, but I guess we'll find out in this Let's Play. That's health right there, that one that was on the far left. And these two are weapons. And again, my knife is kind of powerful right now, so I'm just going to skip the weapons. Like, I want to keep a powerful weapon, because the first boss is actually a little tricky if your weapon sucks. And that's actually sort of like a power-up right there, this homing fireball, which is pretty cool. This is one of those games where a lot of the items and icons, they're not obvious as to what they do at first, and you're kind of like scared to pick them up. But you know, the more you play this game, the more you experiment, you figure out what each item does, and you know whether to pick it up or not. And all the items are the same color when they drop, at least in terms of like your offensive weapons, you know, all your weapons and stuff like that, they're the same color icon on the floor. So... So, basically, it's a little misleading when you try to pick them up. So, one thing that's kind of cool about the bosses in this game, and I'm actually wrecking this guy because of my weapon, there are health bars in the bottom right-hand portion of the screen, underneath their little portrait there. And the reason it's really important to upgrade your weapons is because I completely wrecked this boss. When I got to him last time, I just had level 1 of my weapon power-up, whatever weapon I had. I didn't have the knife. And basically, he killed me. So you really want to just keep upgrading the same weapon. If you start this game, I would just stick with the knife, because your knife is your first weapon, which means your first weapon pickup is gonna take you to level 2 of the knife. And I don't know if it goes up to level 3 or if it's just level 2. But if you switch to a different weapon, you go to level 1 with that weapon. So it's kind of wise to just stick with the knife in the beginning. You might even just want to stick with the knife through the whole game. You'll notice how the knife is actually cutting through enemies now. Okay, so there are these like little backwards arrows here you can pick up. Those are bad. They send you backwards in the level, and you don't want that. You do not want to lose progress in the levels, because your time leader is actually pretty limited in this game. So you want to definitely watch out for that. But yeah, as far as your weapons, I mean, the knife is really powerful when it's powered up, so... Here's another knife. And I don't think that any of these knives are actually doing anything now. I'm not sure what the max firepower is. I hope I get some health sometime soon, though, because that one life is kind of worrying me, though. Oh, stop hitting me. Thank you. Yeah, one of the things about this game is, you know, to me it's not really that hard. It's just a little overwhelming at times. More so when I'm talking and playing at the same time, just like I'm doing in a Let's Play, because there's just so much... The enemies just constantly respawn. They basically don't ever stop. Ooh, 2 things of health. Oh, look at that. That's awesome. I almost got up to 3 lives with that. So yeah, basically I got some health packets. I guess that's what we can call it. And that basically gave me an extra life, and I'm almost maxed out on health on life number 2. Sorry, I had to lower the volume on my computer headphones. It was kind of loud. I was wondering if the mic was actually picking that up. Alright. So yeah, this is actually kind of interesting right here. You get up to the barrier, and you have to get teleported back here in order to get the right piece you need. So that's kind of interesting. And we need to come down here for one of these monks. Now, some of the monks are actually imposters. So you'll actually, you know, free them, and they'll fly off the screen, and fire will just appear everywhere. Okay, see, I don't want that, because that's just a fire weapon, and I just want to stick with my knife. My knife is really powerful right now, so I just don't really care. I'm just going to keep using this. I'm not going to switch up just because. And the reason for that is that, you know, if you're not powered up on your weapons, the bosses take a lot of hits, and the bosses are set up in this game to where if they corner you, you're pretty much toast. You know, you're done. And on a Let's Play, I'm not looking to do that. I'm looking to beat the game for you guys. That's why I like doing these Let's Plays. I can beat the game for you guys, and you guys can see the... Ooh. Yeah, what's actually kind of interesting with, Yeah, see, that was a bad monk right there. He just... Well, he didn't really hurt me, because I've got the gold armor right now, which basically makes me invincible. And as long as I keep picking up these medallions, you know, and I keep raising my count, you know, every time I get hit, it's going to take away from my medallion count instead of taking away my health. So, getting maxed out on your firepower and not firepower, but your armor in this game is really crucial. It's very important for survival. Otherwise, you can actually die pretty quickly in this game. But yeah, like I said, it's really important to get to your gold armor and then to your weapons maxed out, basically. Otherwise, bosses will be a pain, and nobody wants a pain. Nobody wants to deal with that. Certainly not I. See, my medallion count is dropping pretty quickly. Well, it was. Until I beat the boss and collected my maximum amount once more. So, I'm in really good shape here. And like all these here, I don't even need, but you do get points. And if you're the kind of person that likes to play for score or something like that, unfortunately you get no points for picking up the coins. I think it would be cool if you did get points for that. So we're halfway through the game now. We've basically got, I think, 2 more bosses, and that's about it. After this level, we go to a castle. Okay, so no, the skulls are actually good. The skulls give you your bomb attack. I'm gonna call it a bomb attack, kind of like a shoot 'em up. See, I could see there's an arrow behind this wheel. So yeah, just waited for the arrow to disappear. Otherwise, you get shot back. You wasted a lot of time. And holy crap, there's blood on the wall. You didn't see that very often before, like Mortal Kombat. That's pretty cool. Alright, so this is health. I'm up to 3 lives now, and these are all weapons. So the middle one's an axe, the left one is kind of like a mace, and the right one you're basically throwing fireballs. And again, all of them are pretty much the same strength at level 1. So my knife is by default more powerful than them. Well, not by default, but, you know, in my hands currently, the knife is better than any of those other weapons. And it looks like that red potion gives you health too, so there's multiple ways to get health. Now, because I'm not taking any damage when I get hit because of this gold armor, and this is not a cheat code, by the way, this is how the game works. This is exactly how the game works. Look, more health. Ooh. Oh, it forced me to duck and it changed my weapon for me. Oh, I hate you, game. Why did you do that to me? Damn. See, now you can see every item, or every... Can't talk, there's too much going on right now. Every attack I do now is, it's not cutting through the enemies, like, you know. It's basically one shot for one popcorn enemy. I'm gonna call them popcorn enemies, so bam, bam. Whereas my knife was just literally cutting through everything. So this sucks. So now when I get the next weapon upgrade, hopefully it's gonna be the knife. Alright, now how do I use... Come on, how do I use it? There we go. So basically I use my bomb attack, which kills everything on screen, and I wanted it to kill that guy that was up top, because he was just kind of a pain in the ass. So I think we're getting close to the end of this stage. Hopefully, anyway. Okay, good. Now it's cutting through the enemy. And I think that is it. Oh, I kind of wanted to go up top, but it doesn't really matter. I'm invincible, and I've got 4 lives. My weapon's not the best now, but at least I have one more level to get it to the max firepower. Unless it's maxed out already. I don't know if level 2 is the max, or... I really don't know. I don't have the instruction manual with me, so... If anybody knows, let me know. If any of you guys are experienced with this game, feel free to post a comment. Feel free to post a comment anyway. That would be great. That would be awesome, actually. I like comments, guys. So feel free to leave some comments. What I'm actually really curious about, though, is if any of you guys have played the computer versions. I did play the one on MS-DOS a long time ago. Just briefly. I didn't really spend much time with it. It was one of those, like... abandonware games I found, and I downloaded it and tried it, but I never really spent much time with it. And so... so basically, supposedly, the home computer versions of the game, or the computer versions, I say home computer versions like this was an arcade game or something, and actually it was not. It was, computer and console only, and from what I can tell, the only console version was the Sega Genesis and Mega Drive. But I'm really curious to know if any of you guys actually played the computer versions in any form of depth. Like, was it good? Is it worth checking out? I hear it's actually quite different from this one in certain aspects. I hear there's a lot of similarities, I hear this version is faithful, but it's not faithful at the same time. Oh, I need the good weapon, come on. Need another weapon power up. Oh, why are you gonna do that to me? What? I did it again? Alright, now it's getting dangerous. That was really weird. I was pretty sure I landed on the platform. That was not a hard jump to make. Oh, the health drops down. Oh, that sucks. Not that I really need the health, but, you know, it's always nice to get it. It's like a buffer. It's like a cushion, you know? It's a safety net. Alright, this is probably gonna suck. Not having a maxed out weapon. Yeah, I just hit him a bunch of times and it didn't really do a whole lot. I guess it's not too bad. But I am losing health, so... The controls in this game, you're attacking anyway, it could be a little unresponsive sometimes. It's not, you know, super responsive. There is a little bit of a delay sometimes. Sometimes you'll jump and attack and it actually won't do anything. It could just be because of the slowdown in the game. I think it's funny that, you know, his top part is still there floating around. Alright, so this is the last set of stages, if I recall correctly. I think, anyway. I could be wrong, but I think this is the last set of stages. It's not a very long game. And it's not like Ghosts and Goblins where it makes you go through the game twice. Although I honestly could have pictured this game doing that to you. I don't mind that in the Ghosts and Goblins games. It's kind of like their signature trait, really. Oh, there was an apple on top of the wheel, so... I would have lost a whole lot less time if I just waited for the apple to disappear. So there's something to keep in mind in this game. You can be like, oh, well, I want to just pick up the wheel and go on. It's like, well, you're better off not picking it up and just waiting for that unfriendly power-up behind it to disappear. Come on, give me the mace, or whatever it's called. I don't even know if it's actually a mace. This little wire form looking doohickey. I like the music in this game. I've always liked the soundtrack. It's kind of simple. It's pretty melodic. It's good stuff. I've always really enjoyed, ever since I discovered the game, I've always really enjoyed this game. And actually, before doing this Let's Play, I haven't really played it in recent years. It wasn't until a stream from a couple of weeks back that I revisited it and practiced it a little bit and ran through it, which is basically allowing me to do this Let's Play. But it's a good game. It's definitely worth playing. If you've never played it before, I highly recommend trying this game. Oh, son of a... God damn. So basically... That was really bad. That was really bad, man. Shit, I'm gonna run out of time now. I have to do this all over. Alright, so basically what happened is, the last command on the Simon mode, the Simon Says mode, was, left. And, you know, so I was right next to a ledge, and, you know, because the last command was left, I walked left right off the ledge and died. Or not really died, but I got shot back. And when you get shot back in this game, you lose your progress. That's not the one I want. Alright, we're done. No. We ran out of time. God. That's happened to me before, where you get literally right to the end and you run out of time. So that's why failing in this game is bad. It's like, failing is bad, okay? Drugs are bad, okay? So, yeah. Or it looks like my... Oh, yeah, that's right. It starts you off with the same weapon level that you were when you started. So that's good, at least. I don't have to worry about my weapon sucking any more than it already does. But I actually kind of like the way Risky Woods just does... it basically limits your time. You know, so it basically limits your time, and it kind of forces you to play quickly. Now, it's possible to play at a you know, a mild pace, but it's definitely... Oh, come on, man. Whenever you hit one of the monks or whatever, it basically freezes you in your place. And so if you hit them and you're like over a pit, it stops your movement and it forces you down the pit. And that's exactly what happened to me. So there are things like that you have to watch out for. Those are actually pretty annoying. Fortunately, they're not really all that punishing. So again, I still have my golden armor. I'm still technically invincible and blah, blah, blah. You know, I'm just making sure to constantly pick up these medallions or coins, because that's raising my chances of remaining invincible. But let me go back a few steps. You know, what I was mentioning was that, you know, at first it kind of seems like the restrictions on, you know, like your time and so forth it's a little harsh, but it's really not. It's meant to get you to get good at the game, and then you can blaze through the game at a pace to where the timer doesn't even matter. Like, I remember being able to just bolt right through this game when I had played it a lot back in the day, and I would just constantly. Actually, a lot of times what I would do is I would just jump and attack and move forward like this. Oh no, it forced me to pick up this power-up. God damn it, man. Damn it, game. Why are you doing this to me? Now, this is kind of frustrating. Like, getting a weapon, like, being forced to pick up a weapon you didn't intentionally pick up. Like, that actually legitimately sucks. But since I've got the fire, I might as well stick with the fire. So I'm level 2 on the fire now. And you'll notice the weapons in this game, they're all very similar. They're not, you know, really anything to write home about. The axe actually arcs a little bit, which is kind of interesting, but it's actually kind of bad at certain points, because you'll be in a really thin corridor, and the axe will arc up and hit the ceiling, and so it won't go very far in those instances. So I think the knife actually, in hindsight, now that I've been playing the game a lot, is probably the best weapon in the game, because it's thin and it goes straight forward. You can fit it through all the tight spaces in the game, and it's fast. You know, you don't have to worry about it getting stuck on objects like these bigger circular weapons do. So, personally, if I was gonna give a newbie a game plan, I'd be like, okay, stick with the knife, get your gold armor, have fun. That's basically how it would be. So, oh, it did it again, man. Except that time I actually landed on an enemy. See, now I can actually take damage. Oh, and I died for it. Oh my god. Come on, stupid enemies. And you see, if I had my knife, I would have been attacking that guy just fine. But the thing is, this fire weapon kept getting stuck on the platform. It kept hitting the platform. But if I had the knife, it would have gone over and past the platform. So it's actually kind of interesting. Like, the weapon you start off with is actually the best weapon in the game. Oh, see, it's doing it to me again where I'm gonna have to press left last. Oh, and I picked up this weapon. Again. I guess it doesn't really matter because my last weapon was at level 1 too. But this is really bad because I'm going to get to the last boss in the game and basically have a level 1 weapon, which is not good. I need to get the gold armor again just so my life is a whole lot easier. Yeah, so apparently the skulls, they hurt you sometimes. Sometimes, not all the time. Oh, maybe it's because when I was picking them up when I was invincible, they don't hurt me then. Is that how it works? That might be how it works, actually. I'm going to be invincible just in a few moments. I'm at 66. I think 67 is what takes me, Yep, 67 takes you gold. Go gold with Xbox Live Gold. No, I'm just kidding. Alright, left. Okay. You notice the graphics in this game are pretty good as well. I mean, for 1992, these are actually really nice visuals, and everything animates really well, from like the way your character moves to like the spikes coming out of the ground to that fire appearing. Like everything is just really well animated in this game, and that's what I really liked about like the Amiga computer games from back in the days. A lot of them were really visually appealing. Unfortunately for a lot of Amiga games, maybe it's because I didn't grow up in Europe, but a lot of them aren't. This is just me. I don't think gameplay-wise they were very good, but Risky Woods is a really good game, both visually and gameplay-wise. It's one of those Amiga-originated games that actually gets both categories right. It looks beautiful, and it plays really well, too. And it's a lot of fun to play. So yeah, this is going to be a little tricky because my weapon is not good right now. It's level 1. Basically what should be happening is I should be cutting through all these guys like, you know, popcorn. And if I had this weapon maxed out, I'd be taking a lot more health off this dude. But as you can see, I've hit this guy like 50 times already. I've only taken 2 health bars off. And it's actually going to be hard because I'm running out of time. I don't even know if I can beat this guy without running out of time. All because the game actually forced me to pick up a weapon I didn't want multiple times. And so that's one of the downsides to this game, and definitely an oversight in the development process, I think, or design process, or implementation process. I have no idea. I'm not a game designer or developer. What the hell do I know? I just play video games. Damn, so close. Out of time. And now I'm out of my gold armor, too. Oh, it starts me back. That's right. I have a feeling we're not going to beat the game now. Like, you have to be powered up. Because you only get, you know, less than 2 minutes to do this. And look at how weak I am. Like, look at how little damage I'm doing to this guy. It's really, really bad. Now I'm trying to figure out how to use my, there we go. And what I don't like about games like this is that... Oh, dude, I died and his full health bar came back. What the f***, man? Pardon my French, but that's really bad design right there. The boss's health came back fully, but my timer didn't. So that's some crap, man. That's really, really bad design. That's a major, major oversight. It basically makes it impossible to do your thing. Okay, so using the bombs is crucial. I just used the bombs, and that took away like 3/4 of his health. Wow, that actually was starting to frustrate me at the end there. Man, I have never... Wow. Because I got there with basically a level 1 weapon, which was doing like no damage to him. And then I died. It put me back into the fight. I lost some health. But my timer didn't reset, but the boss's life bar reset. Like, just think about that for a second. Like, you're just intentionally screwing the player. Like, I don't think that was intentional. It was probably just an oversight. You know, because if I got to that boss with, like, maxed out weapons, I think I would just tore him apart easily. All, like, the little enemies he was shooting out, I would have just cut right through all of them. But because I was at firepower level 1, it's just... I could barely kill the enemies. So that wasn't good. So that's it. You know, Risky Woods has a very lame ending in a way. It's just that dude, you know, shining his staff or whatever, and that's it. So not a whole lot of reward for all that work, but fortunately, Risky Woods is a really fun game, and if you're a classic gaming collector or even someone that just plays on emulation or something like that, I do recommend checking this game out and giving it a go. It's not as frustrating as something like Ghosts and Goblins or Ghouls and Ghosts, but the gameplay is very similar, minus the whole constantly spawning enemies thing, which this game has, and the Ghosts and Goblins and Ghouls and Ghosts games don't have as much of. They've got more randomized enemies, but not usually constantly spawning enemies. Although you do have time that you have to deal with in those games. So you do have to keep moving in those games, just like this game. So there's your axe, actually. It got to demonstrate the axe, at least. There's also this boomerang-style weapon, but I don't really recommend using it for the reasons I stated earlier. It's just every weapon except for your knife is just big, and it's easy for your weapons to get caught on objects and not actually connect with the enemy that you mean it to connect with. So I recommend sticking with your knife and just going with that unless you're forced to switch, which happened to me twice in this play session. Once it was just like beyond my knowledge. I didn't even see the weapon. Like the first time I saw the weapon land on me, and it forced me in a ducking position because I had just completed like the checkpoint thing or whatever, or it was like a monk or something, I'm not sure. And the second time was because I got to one of the Simon Says checkpoints, and a weapon must have landed on me when I wasn't even paying attention, but I didn't even see one land on me. So it's weird. You gotta watch out for stuff like that. That'll actually make the game pretty challenging at parts, because you know, you'll have full firepower, then before you know it, you won't have any firepower. But, alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here. I want to say thanks for watching. If you're new to my channel, please feel free to subscribe. I've got a ton of Let's Plays, as well as more on the way, as well as a ton of other videos on this channel. So feel free to check it out, give me a follow, and maybe I'll see you soon. To everybody else that is subscribed, thank you as usual. I'll be back with some more LPs very soon. And I hope you enjoyed this one. So, until then, guys, take it easy.